A very good, happy Monday morning to you. Thank you for joining Coffee with Scott, talking about travel. I'm really excited to be sharing some thoughts with you. I'm coming at you from Cape Canaveral, Florida. In the background here is Space Force, where all the launches happen for the Saturn V, the Saturn Apollo program, Mercury, and Gemini. And SpaceX has been taken over uh, quite recent, which is pretty awesome. And for me, for the first time, howdy, my name is Scott. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large. And it's an honor to have you here today. If for me, for the first time, appreciate you being here. If you're a longtime viewer, thank you again for being here with me. I like to say I've been inspiring humans since 2018 to travel lighter, smaller, get more happiness out of it, and hopefully that does not disagree with you. Try and get a shadow off my face a little bit. I had a couple of thoughts today, and around travel, I wanted to share with you and get your thoughts on. I'm very eager to take your comments. Aaron, thank you for being here. This is my coffee. My van is parked, I don't know, 1,000 yards maybe that way. So coffee, everybody. Good morning. Hopefully the wind noise is not too badly coming through. It's a little breezy today. It's going to be cold by Florida standards. It's going to be in the mid 70s today and gets down to the low 60s at night, which is just perfect for me. And no AC needed for the last several nights, which is pretty awesome. Um, yeah, again, I got a few notes for you. If you have any thoughts on travel, I would love to know about what makes you want to travel, what makes you travel, what styles of travel are you most familiar with. I see Ryan's in here. Ryan, good to see you, sir. Appreciate that. Um, and I'm I got a few topics. So one thing today has been very special already. So I arrived into the Port Canaveral, uh, the Jetty Park campground yesterday. I'd looked to see if there was any SpaceX flights or any launches from Cape Canaveral, and couldn't see any listed, which was kind of a bummer. I've stayed here several times. This is the first time I've been here in this place for I don't know. It's been probably 4 years because it's really hard to get into. And they were open up on a Sunday night, so I'm leaving tomorrow morning. And when I got here, I discovered that there was a 4:30 a.m. launch of SpaceX Falcon 9 taking a Starlink payload into space. So I got up early and I got to see that. Even more cool, perhaps, is there's another SpaceX Falcon 9 launch tonight at 10:30 Eastern. Um, there wasn't too many people out at 4:30 in the morning, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a pretty big crowd tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So I'm going to be doing a, YouTube live stream, just kind of capturing the experience this morning. It was so cool. Both of these in darkness, which means you can see the rockets more readily, at least the flame. And that's to me what travel is all about, is capturing some van life miracles. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So let me know how you like to travel. Is it by van, by RV, by motorcycle, by bicycle, by foot, maybe by airplane, cruise ship? This is a cruise terminal. Let's see if we can spin this around. So there's a big old Carnival cruise, uh, offloading people and unloading cargo. There was a Disney ship that departed at about 5:30 this morning. If you're on our Patreon members, you'll be seeing the launch and the Disney cruise boat come by. It looked like a floating casino. It was pretty awesome. If you ask a lot of people if they won the lottery, what would they like to do? Number one thing is pay off debt. Number two thing is, yeah, you guessed it, travel more. So why do people travel less when they've got all the um, weight of life? That's kind of what I want to know. I didn't even know what van life was about until 2017, 2018, and it's forever changed my life. And if you have a means to travel, um, it doesn't need to be expensive for sure. You don't need a $150,000 van. I've met some van life people that are in a $3,000 handyman van, threw a bucket and a mattress in there, and they're off and rolling. And so it doesn't matter the method, it doesn't matter the amount of money. I think for me and for many of you, it's the explore, travel, discover. More happiness is what makes that happen. So let's not wait to win the lottery to get you out there. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Oops. Okay. Hi, Sharon. Good morning. Appreciate you being here. She said, I used to travel by cruise, ship, airplane, train, and bus. You got them all covered, ma'am. Good for you. And you're working on your van plan, right? Appreciate that. Uh, we're going to be on a cruise next month, and we're going to be sharing some of that with you as well. Coffee. Let me just kind of spin this around so you see what I'm looking at here. So this is Jetty Park. So this is where I came from, which is down here. The campground is over this little tree area. If we spin around here, this is a jetty. Over here is the water, the beach, and way down here is the fishing pier, which you can see. And this is the inlet. In this kind of fish. This is Cape Canaveral way down here, and that's where the space launches, rocket launches happen. And then over here is the port. They had three ships in yesterday. Wonder of the Seas on Norwegian. I'm sorry, Wonder of the Seas on Royal Caribbean. This is a Carnival Cruise boat right there. You see, there's one in the distance. And there's two Disneys that were here yesterday. One left early this morning. So that's what's kind of going on there. Spin this back around. That's nice. Yeah. It's been kind of funny to see the native Floridians when it gets below 70 degrees, they think they're in a Arctic wave, which they kind of are, right? When you're used to 80, 90 degrees and all of a sudden it's 50 degrees at night, they think they're hell frozen over. And I guess it does when you're used to, again, 70, 80 degrees at night. And now it's going to be 50. I personally am enjoying it a lot. So there we go. Let me know how you like to travel. Good morning, Matt. Good to see you, sir. And a happy coffee. Appreciate that. Still working. That was good. Yes, sir. Um, let's see. That would be kind of fun. I looked on Wikipedia. What is the definition of travel? And it says travel is the movement of people between distant geographies. I think the key word there is distant. Now, you can kind of travel with your own geography within 20 miles, but that's kind of staycationing. I would actually call that travel because you're probably pretty familiar with that territory. So I think you need to cut the word distant there is to get away from what you're familiar with. Um, it to Sharon's point, the next line in the definition was travel by foot, bike, automobile, boat, bus, plane, or ship. So that's pretty awesome. I would agree with all that. And I used to be a little bit of a turkey because I thought if you weren't traveling in a van, you weren't really traveling. And what have we done since then has changed our my thinking in that travel is getting in movement between different geographies by whatever means of travel you like. So whether jeep camping, truck camping, um, cruise life, travel life, van life. It's as long as you're traveling between different geographies for exploration, you're on it. It followed further saying short stays between successive movements. So hopping along on a trajectory, I think is pretty awesome as well. What's I found a little interesting is the word travel comes from an old French word called travail. And that word, its literal meaning was to work. And I think that's kind of funny because in the old days, travel was a lot of work. You think about the stagecoaches and riding horses and buggies and how miserable that must have been. Um, Today it can be a burden too, but it is having a lot more fun. Thank you, sure. Forgot the car, working on the van. Yes, ma'am. So the joys of travel. I kind of have it written into five categories that I've learned over the years. Martin, and I think joy number five, the fifth reason I like doing travel, and many of you, is just to stay thirsty, to stay curious. Um, I think if people are just a little more thirsty, a little more hungry, a little more curious, um, the world would be a little bit different than it is. Back in the old days, um, humanity was very curious, and they suddenly shipped around. Sometimes it's just population, but there was a curiosity about what was around there. Today we go into space. Today we go in into the ocean underground, through mining and caving, and so there's certainly part of that. But a lot of us, in my opinion, have lost some of that sense of curiosity because we just watch it on TV, thinking we've experienced it. And there's some truth to that. But I think if one is curious, one is thirsty for a bigger life, a bigger understanding, then you can quench that thirst through travel. Good luck on the fish. I think joy number four for me is explore, the exploration. What I've been able to do is learn so much about me, so much about um, people, places, things that I never knew before because I had a sense of exploration. I want to go find out um, what was out there, what's the meaning behind it, and one of my favorite examples is Harvest Hosts. It's an RV camping program, over 9,000 sites. You can camp overnight on private property or commercial property. But what's cool to me is it takes me places I wouldn't necessarily go. So it gives me a destination. And it often is a cool destination that is somebody making something. They're growing vegetables, they've got chickens, they're making cheese, they're making wine, they're doing craft beer, they're distilling spirits. Maybe it's making maple syrup from real trees. And I think understanding what it takes to put maple syrup in a bottle from a tree sap gives me a much better appreciation for what it takes to do that. Um, so the exploration and the learning behind it for me has been really, really positive. Probably you too. Let me know what your favorite destination is, where you learned something that you didn't know before, had a little bit better appreciation for it. I'd love to know that. Hey, hello, Bill and Joe. Good to see you this morning. Happy coffee on a Monday. The number three thing that's on my list, I think, is people. I don't think I've met more than a handful of boneheads during my 6 years of travel. And if I really don't like them, I just kind of keep moving, which is pretty awesome. I think there is a sense of that everybody's mean, everybody's mad, everybody's out to get you. I think largely from watching TV and watching the news. And while there's certainly incidences of not happy people, not happinesses, violence, what have you, it's really very localized, very not what's going on everywhere. And the people I've met, all walks of life, all types of economic situations, all types of travel, vessels of discovery. I've just learned that most people are actually really, really cool. Um, and there's something about us traveling in vans. If you have a van, and you know this, you've probably experienced this, and they're very curious about the van travel and what it means to them. And they want to, and they always say, I wish I could do what you do. I'm like, what's keeping you back, man? And or woman. And they want to have a tour of the van and they talk about it. And it's pretty awesome. Um, but the people I think for me is the number three thing I really enjoy travel. I kind of got out of that last year when I was or earlier this year and late last year when I was kind of getting burned out on YouTube. So I kind of lost that. I brought that back, and now I'm actively wandering around, meeting people, talking to people. It's pretty awesome. Let's see, what's the Matt have to say? Matt says, I love the flexibility of driving and avoiding TSA airports, cramped seating. Plus, I get a chance to see the scenery. I'm not against air travel, but I'm happy not to fly these days. I completely um, agree with you there. It's very expedient to travel, but if you kind of drive with intention, one can cover a long distance in just a couple of days, and it takes up a whole day just to get to one end of that travel by plane destination, and then you turn around a few days later and do it back. So I agree with you, Matt. If I can avoid getting on a plane, I'd much rather travel in my RV with my own stuff, listen to my own music, not listen boneheads on planes. Now that's where you find a bonehead generally, right? Good lord. Thank you, Matt, for sharing that. Appreciate that. And here's Taurus. Is there a harvest host or similar in Canada? I think there are harvest host sites in Canada. I would have to look. I've not seen that. Man, I just mosquito thing. She got me good. Uh, Maybe somebody can look that up for us on a website here, because it would change the stream. We don't want to do that. The number two reason I love to travel is culture. I think a little bit different than meeting the maker of something, but the different cultures just in the United States um, is it's the diversity of culture, cuisine, geography, topography, environments, animals, birds, plants. It's so different. And to me, I think art, history, all that wrapped into culture is just, it's so amazing. Again, if you're just in your local little geographic area or never really left your state in any a meaningful way, never been to the mountains, never been to the desert, never been to the ocean, it's a big life. And how much of that are you capturing? And then there's the whole history. America's full of history, good and bad, uh, but it's part of our culture. And you got to look forward carefully by looking back at the past a little bit and make better decisions, right? And the food, holy cow. Texas barbecue, Louisiana cooking, Southern cooking in Georgia, um, um, bourbon, whiskey out of Kentucky and Tennessee, um, seeing the rock formations in Colorado, seeing the desert, the Saguaro National Park outside of Tucson, and, and all the people that interact with those environments and how they deal with the environments, both way back in the day and in current times, I think is really, really interesting. So just again, learning all that in real time, getting some depth and breadth from understanding that place, the people, through apps like Atlas Obscura or Wikipedia, going to um, gosh, that thing went me good. Um, Convention or visitor bureaus, I think, are great ways to get in deeper with culture. One tip I would like to share with you is figure out what is your reason for stopping someplace. What is your point of interest? Um, Maybe it's hiking. Maybe it's history. Maybe it's architecture. Maybe it's food. Maybe it's wine. I really encourage you, if you're not doing this already, is to really figure out what would make you stop during your travel to learn more around staying thirsty, doing a little exploration, meeting the people around that point of interest, and then sucking in that, absorbing that culture. I think that is so very happy or very important to enriching what your travel experience looks like. Um, Here's Roads of Life in here. The reason to travel is not to run away, but to run toward. Yes, sir. Very well said. Roads of Life just woke up. Well, good morning, sir. It's 10:30 in the morning. You must be retired. I had here's Denham Rue. Good morning from Winder, Georgia. Appreciate you being here. This is great. Denham Rue says 45 degrees. Matt says, I see Harvest Hill sites in Canada on their map. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. Yeah, I was pretty sure there was some. There might even be some in Mexico. I really don't have any interest in going to, well, hello, bird, to Mexico in my van. Oh, he's having a little breakfast here. Let's see if we can spin this around. There he is. I think birds are fascinating. If you haven't, there he's come to see us. What's up? Good morning, sir. Oh, sorry. This one's coming to join us. If you have not got the app called, I think Chris and Sandy, called Merlin Bird ID. It's from Cornell Labs. This is the app that's coming through very well. But it's called Merlin. Download that. It talks all about birds. You can actually record the sound of the birds and it'll identify the bird by sound. Again, expanding one's circle of reference, right? I just love watching nature. That's probably part of the whole exploration, staying curious. Again, the animals and the fauna is very different. All the different places I go and learn, and I think it's just fascinating. It is. It's called Reel 'Em In. I wanted to know if I had a new fishing technology. Yeah, here's how I go fishing. And then I cook it up. One thing we learned. Well, yeah. Anyway. Um, so the number one reason we'll call this a short a wrap here shortly is just happiness. I was so unhappy in 2017, and why? Long Chicago commute. Worked for a great company, but wasn't really fulfilling work for me. I felt really hemmed in, even though we traveled a fair amount for corporate work. It was work. It was plane, um, airplane, hotels. I was there to work. Might get an extra day or two on either side of the business end of things, and I didn't really get to sink in and absorb, um, and be curious, explore, meet the people. Whoa, he got a good one there. He's doing pretty good. Let's spin this around again. What'd you find, sir or ma'am? Oh, I'm clearly sitting at the fishing table, fish cleaning table. You can see the scales and what have you. Um, but what I discovered through kind of the miracle of YouTube, which I didn't even know really existed, was there's a way to travel, work while traveling, and do all the things that we've talked about: staying thirsty, being curious, exploring, meeting cool people, uh, expanding the horizon on culture. And what that has led me to is a greater joy, a greater happiness that I didn't really understand before all this got started. Because of a single van and the desire to share what I learned, my happiness level is pegged pretty high these days. And I'm so excited to have gotten up this morning to see that SpaceX launch. And I'm so excited to be seeing that SpaceX launch again tonight. Well, the different rocket altogether. And it's just, these guys are really hungry. Wish I would have brought something. I have nothing to feed them. But and because of many of you in this amazing audience we built over the years and some of the brands we work with, that has just brought me such great joy and happiness. And I'm just honored to have helped some of you um, make awesome decisions and get out there and travel a little bit more. And morning. And while I think it's give it a little vantage point here, I think it's come back over here, bird. It's hard to quantify. It's real. The happiness that travel brings me. And now that I've kind of stopped doing full time, I'm taking trips of days, weeks, or months. Much like many of you, we've got trips planned, including cruise boats. We're going to sharing that with you starting next month. And in January, we're going to the Super Show. And in February, there's the Van Fest on the Space Coast near Melbourne, Australia. So we've got a trip around that. And then we've got Peace, Love, and Vans coming up in early March 2025. And once I leave that, I'm taking about a 3-month trip which is pretty cool. So up and around through the West, we'll be visiting um, Alabama, Texas, Arizona, headed to Weird Wild West, Bisbee, Arizona, and then up through and up to probably the West. So that'll be a multi-month trip, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I don't know, I'm super excited. I'm super at ease these days, and I'm super eager to get content out and grow the channel like crazy um, through doing it the right way with good intentions in mind. So here's Bill and Joe saying, drinking lots of coffee. Whoa, hello, sir, ma'am. Usually the males are very colorful and the females are kind of dull. It's the opposite in human life. I'm trying to change that, bring a little bling. Got these in Micanopy. Anybody ever been to Micanopy, Canada, or Canada? Micanopy, Florida. This is citrine, I think it is. So I like to put my bling on these days. We're getting fancy. Um, Roads of Life, yes. Retired. Every day is a Saturday. Every night's a Friday. Well, don't miss us tonight. We're going to be doing I might even do it from here. This is a good vantage point, right? Let me show you this. Number one, there's a table. And you really can't see the launch because it's so far away. You see a big burst of light. Let me do it this way. Big burst of light. And then the rocket comes up. And the sound is about a 30-second delay. And then it comes up. Well, last night's anyway, it came up this way. And then it was right near the moon. It was so spectacular. So we might do it right from this vantage point. If you've ever seen a rocket launch, it's pretty spectacular. I've seen a few. This was my first time seeing it in at nighttime. And what's so weird is the sound is so delayed because of the distance. But even from this vantage point, I'm not sure how many miles away we are, but it was, you could feel the concussion, the shock waves, and I'm really excited for that for tonight. I might have a libation to do that. We'll see. Um, Here's a Van Adventure to Aloha from Las Vegas, Nevada. If you've not been to Las Vegas, New Mexico, you don't know what you're missing. But I love Las Vegas, Nevada. That's cool for all the right and wrong reasons, right? Uh, and here's Matt. Where am I? Waking up in a hotel. I'm home. Where am I? Waking up in my van. Good job, sir. Living the dream. I'm proud of you for doing some street camping. Good job, sir. That's so great. So thanks again for joining the live. Just wanted to share some of that with you. We'll be doing these coffee with Scott's infrequently and libation with Scott's. Good morning, sir. As time rolls forward, we'll also be doing hiking with Scott. We'll and biking with Scott, just trying to explore together more readily and without the overhead of having to record and edit. We'll just do some things that are a little more ad hoc. This Wednesday coming up, this is Thanksgiving week in America. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. On Wednesday, for What's Up Wednesday, we will be doing a YouTube Live. We'll be cooking Thanksgiving dinner in the van in my Winnebago Travato 59 GL. And we're going to have some fun. These birds are excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. They really know where this thing is, the iPad. Giving everything a test. Good morning. Oh, birds are amazing. Their eyesight, right? Wouldn't it be cool to fly? I thought I always want to be a squirrel. I think I want to be a bird or maybe a dragonfly. Good morning, sir. Whatever you are. So don't miss that. What's Up Wednesday? We're making Thanksgiving dinner in the van. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a hoot and a holler. We might even slip in a taste test of some turkey dinner, frozen turkey dinners, TV dinners. Is that what they still call them? I don't know. But appreciate you being here today. We will see you soon. We just released a new video last night. If you haven't seen it, it was my first morning and the Cape Cod B Plus built by Embassy RV. You don't want to miss that. It's a really incredible vehicle. I'm hoping we have some really big announcements in the coming months with Embassy RV. And it's going to be great. What a great time to be alive. I wish I had at least, oh, this is what he's wanting right here. We just got it. That is that bird is not afraid. I think he got a crab shell or something. He's not very interested. Doesn't taste good? Want some hot sauce? Oh, he swallowed it. But there was hot sauce. All right, folks, thank you for joining. And Coffee with Scott YouTube Live from Cape Canaveral. We'll see you again tonight. There's a launch SpaceX launch 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably do it from right here or maybe down there. Not sure. There's a few tables, and this is a good vantage point. So I might get here a little early. We'll talk space. I'm a huge space nut, and just being in the space coast of on the space coast of Florida is just it's so great. It just there's a lot of history that happened in these miles of the space coast, Florida. Happy Monday to you. We'll see you tonight, hopefully. We'll see you on Wednesday and journey on. Peace be with you. See if there's any more questions. Nice RV. Good morning, MCCK. Yes, sir. Saw the video. Great rig. Oh, you're talking about the embassy Cape Cod. Yeah, it's really special. It's a really great special rig. All right, folks. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And we will see you